Hey, you guys. How's it going? Found this NCIS naval uh, Guantanamo Bay document, NCIS, that shows a bunch of things: sexual assault of adult, child abuse, sexual assault of these are of detainees. A lot of them say control on it. So this is just very weird. I also found a DOD document I want to share with you. Okay, so DOD, now, I've told you why I believe that people are being detained. It's for the value of their blood. Okay, I know. Value of their blood and organs. DOD components will maintain full accountability for all detainees under DOD control. Detainees will be assigned an internment serial number, normally within 14 days after their capture, or transferred to the custody or control, barring exceptional circumstances where they don't want you to know why you're detained. The International Committee of the Red Cross will be promptly notified of all ISN assignments. Now, why would the International Committee of the Red Cross be assigned of all ISN assignments if these are actually terrorists? Detainees will be registered and property in their possession will be inventoried. Records of their detention and such property will be maintained according to applicable law, regulation, policy, and other issuances. All detainee records will be maintained, safeguarded, and provided to the USD and other, I don't know what USDP is, and all the other DOD component heads as appropriate. Biometric identification will be collected from all detainees in accordance with this, as soon as practicable after their capture or transfer to the custody and control of DOD personnel. And will be included in detainee records. BII collected on detainees who are U.S. citizens or U.S. resident aliens will be conducted in accordance with U.S. law. So they're not only detaining people that are located outside of the U.S., they're also detaining people in the U.S. No person subject to this directive will accept the transfer of a detainee from another U.S. government, department, or agency, coalition force, allied personnel, or other personnel not affiliated with the DoD, except in accordance with applicable law, regulation, policy, and other issuances. Subject to the requirements of law of war and this directive, POWs and unprivileged belligerents may lawfully be detained until a competent authority determines that the conflict has ended or that active hostilities have ceased, and civilian internees may lawfully be detained until the reasons that necessitated the civilian's internment no longer exist. It's never going to not exist. It's their money system. Detention pending efforts to ensure a safe and orderly release of transfer is also authorized. So prisoners of war, I've explained this. So they're supposed to enjoy, not be subject to experiments, unauthorized experiments, non-consensual experiments. But, obviously, what they did to me is crazy. Okay, so no detainee will be transferred to the custody of another country when a competent authority has assessed that it's more likely that the detainee would be subject to torture. But they're torturing us on American soil, so I don't understand. The risks that the detainee would suffer other forms of ill treatment, such as arbitrary deprivation of life, including as a result of the death sentence pronounced without fundamental guarantees of a fair trial, or persecution on account of race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group, or the expression of a particular political opinion should also be considered in a decision for transfer. For detainees entitled to POW status or treatment, but they're moving people into enemy combatant status so that they can do all of these experiments on them. So they're not kept as a prisoner of war. They're kept as an enemy combatant or terrorist when they're not. So, here's the one that says, let's see. All detainees will be respected as human beings without any adverse distinction founded on race, color, religion, or faith. But when I saw the documents, it said they're only detaining white children and women. I didn't see another document that said it was any other race. They will be protected against threats or acts of violence, including rape, forced prostitution, assault, theft, public curiosity, bodily injury, reprisals, torture, and cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. They will not be subjected to medical or scientific experiments or to sensory deprivation intended to inflict suffering or service punishment. Well, installation of a slave tracker, I think, is, prevents breathing and smiling, and they won't remove it. So, I mean, this is crazy. So what they're saying is that the only persons allowed to visit these people are work for the Red Cross. We heard about those pallets of cash, right? So let me see what else. And then this one is, I think I showed you the Nakamoto group. So they're claiming people are complaining of being raped, but they're not putting it in the final documents. This is Nakamoto group. The Sexual Abuse and Assault Prevention and Intervention Standard was inspected, but is not referenced. The standard was rated as meets standards. There were 5 allegations of sexual assault or abuse involving ICE detainees during this inspection period. None of the allegations involved oral, anal, or vaginal penetration. Women went to the police and did report this. Details of the allegations, are found in the remarks section of the Sexual Abuse and Assault Prevention and Intervention Standard. Let's see what this one is. Oh yeah, I want to show you something else. Hang on.